Hi, I'm Tae Kang of Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and 2026 is the 10th year of the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence. Over the past decade, applicants for the prize have engaged with many thought-provoking video learning modules. We took a look back, and this year we are sharing a compilation of some of our favorite content from these learning modules. We think they provide strong insights into how to create excellent classroom culture and curriculum for your skilled trades program. We invite you to reflect on how you can use these ideas to strengthen your own program to inspire your students.
You see me at the front of the door. I handshake every single day, every student that comes in. And that's part of the soft skills that we do. Proper handshake, proper introduction. Very first day we do that. I always grade at how they communicate, how you get along. You know, the employability skills is part of my third of my grade in here. I do a lot of teamwork grade. They're working in groups of 2. And so when we test on the hands-on projects and communication skills, you're graded as a group. You're not graded individually. I do individual testing as well, but typically it's only on a small amount. We do big time on teamwork skills, team grading, projects they do together, they get graded together, the same grade. So when I give them a project to do a switch to a light, for example, and they get 80%, both kids get 80% on that. They work together, they have the same paperwork together, they're communicating, it's all tied in as one project. And so that's how I grade. Because out in the field, you work together. And so your success is, did they pass or fail? It's not did Billy pass, did Johnny fail? You're graded together, and so that's why I do it in the classroom. And the end project, they all want that good grade, and working together, they get a better grade. It's just, they love it.
It's not, are we gonna clean up? It's an assumption that we will teach you cleanup routines. And many of our students have never used a mop, and some of them have never used a broom. So it's something that we actually have to teach. It's not a question of do we do this or do we not do it. Everybody does it. Everybody has a cleanup job. Our cleanup routines, what they instill in the kids is pride. You know, they're taking care of this facility. And you will see it. Sometimes a student will drop a paper towel and another student will say, hey, pick up that paper towel. I'm not gonna sweep that up for you, you know.
Empathic listening. Empathic listening means you can listen with empathy to your students without making judgments, without leading the conversation in any type of way, but you can listen. And you can listen and become that mirror with that student and reflect back on them and ask questions for them to bring more information out. We need to be that listener that can listen to these ideas, talk about these ideas, and really have the best influence on addressing these kind of concerns in the world. And it's weird to think that listening is one of the key ways of doing that.
We started a student advisory council. So we first started it larger for all of the CTE programs, and we learned so much. There are things that we thought we knew that we didn't, and then other things that we had misinterpreted based on, you know, survey responses, but having kids in the room talking. And we've really encouraged our program area teachers to have a student advisory council to help guide what they're doing in class, how people are feeling. I think kids really like that. We have lots of kids signing up. They do it after school, they do it on their own time, but they have a voice in where the class is going. We did some surveys of students, and as part of our student advisory group, we're surveying student groups, and we're asking them periodically all sorts of questions. The other piece too is having teachers feel comfortable with the fact that we're going to get some feedback that sometimes says, this environment didn't feel good to me. And it's not saying that everything they're doing is horrible, it's just, here's some more data for you. You might not have noticed this, here's some more data, but this student or these students are looking for something different. What could we do to make that work?
One of the best pieces of advice that I can give a teacher is to get okay with being wrong. Not only will it free you, it will free your students to experiment and explore and look for learning without the fear of failure. The iterative process, the entrepreneurial process, is all about unearthing everything that won't work and then finding a more creative solution, getting closer to a solution that will work. Oftentimes what we see is classes want to hoard their ideas until they're perfect. They're so excited about their idea, about their business, about all of the work that's gone into creating this thing that feels like theirs, that they're not willing to ship out into the world until it's perfect. And if I can give any words of wisdom to teachers and students who are engaging in the entrepreneurial process in their classroom, I would just say there is no perfect. Sometimes teachers will say to their classroom of 30 students, what do you all want to create? Like, the world is our oyster. And then 8 months later, haven't committed to a product yet because with 30 different wildly different students with all of their own ideas, they can't come together and find a consensus on the one thing that they all want to get bought in on. And so if I can encourage a teacher towards creative constraints, giving your students some guardrails that can help can help them narrow in on a product sooner rather than later, that will ensure that you can get through the process of kind of launching so that you can gain some of that learning that only comes with that iterative development.
There shouldn't be more than 15 minutes of teacher-directed instructions or preparation for that day. Anybody sitting, listening to somebody talk or PowerPoint, we all understand, after about 15 minutes, it starts to get, just the amount of knowledge is too much to grasp. So 15 minutes max, and then the students should be applying what the knowledge that they've learned, they should be applying it. And what I try to do is to present the information, give the students some time to mull it over, and then what I want is the questions to be asked before they start working. So that process is, what do you think you need at this point to accomplish what we've set out for the rest of the day? And ask those questions first. And once the actual work has begun, in theory at least, I should be able to go sit down and start doing paperwork or whatever I need to accomplish during that time with very little interaction with the students. The phrase that we use is ask three and then me, meaning within the class with the fellow students, most of the time the information is going to be there. If the particular student doesn't have it, we expect them to ask 3 other students at least before they're going to come to the instructor.
At the beginning level classes, you will see kids using checklists for everything that they do, for engine disassembly, for engine measuring, reassembly of engines. But as you progress through my classes, my mid and advanced level, what you will see is kids creating their own checklist. You will see them using information technology, different manuals that we use on the computer in the shop, creating their own checklist for the jobs that they do. So I start them off with giving those checklists, and then I wean them over to where they are finding the information themselves and building those checklists themselves.
The mobile welding lab started off as a makeshift trailer where we just added equipment and supplies and took it to the various areas of Paso Robles for our outreach opportunities. From the success that was actually started with that equipment, we developed and designed an enclosed trailer that utilizes engine drive and portable wire feed welding equipment. And our next phase of implementation is actually looking at teaching children in our area hands-on fabrication techniques so that they can have take-home projects and not even come to Paso Robles High School's facility. That success really is starting to transition more opportunities for students from a variety of backgrounds as they see some of the stereotypes that might be associated with a hands-on program like welding and breaking those barriers down to access their ability to be successful in this program. The biggest success factor for the mobile welding lab is utilizing my high school students as the instructors. I, as the instructor of Paso Robles High School, I'm the facilitator whenever we take that mobile welding lab out. I'm not the one who's one-on-one teaching the younger students from our community. That's kind of that bridge of taking your skill set as an advanced member of my welding program and being able to translate that back into how well you can teach and train somebody else. those students that come from the middle schools, that come from the elementary schools, having that direct connection and relationship with a high school student from Paso Robles, I think that is probably the biggest benefit because they're building relationships, not just skills.
Whatever AI you're using, right? If it's ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Claude or Meta, doesn't matter what you're using, doesn't matter the platform. They all pretty much work the exact same way. And a good pro tip is to give it a persona. It's what we call persona prompting. So whenever you are prompting your AI, you're gonna say, you are an electrician, you are an auto mechanic, you are a contractor, you are a framer, you are a drywaller. You tell it what you need it to be, and then you ask it to support you in that work. If you start using AI that way, you unlock a whole nother level of what these tools can do for you. In our classrooms, in the era of AI, we want this idea of transparency in our classrooms to be the foundational use of the way we use AI. There's a couple things that educators need to do as you get started leveraging AI in your classroom. The first thing is we want to adopt an AI matrix. And you can find them all over the internet. AI matrices are for me as a teacher to be able to say, today on this assignment, you can use AI at a level 1. A level 1 is usually, you can't use any AI on this assignment. All the way to a level 3 or a level 5, where you can co-create things with AI. And as an educator, I can then set the expectation that on this assignment, on the work that we're doing today, AI can be used at this level. When you use it at this level, I then need you to be transparent about your use. Once we set the expectation, then we rely on transparency. Can you actually ever detect whether or not a student used AI? No, you can't. These tools are getting very good. They are writing in the voices of us, of your students. We don't want to rely on AI detector tools to play a gotcha game. What we want to rely on is setting expectations, using an AI matrix that says the expectation is you're going to use AI at whatever level you've decided for this lesson or this assignment today, and then have students be transparent in their use of AI.
I hope that you enjoyed this compilation of best strategies. Best of luck.